Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to SDTechWalk. You are in SDTechWalk for the first time. Do click on the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon so that you will never miss any future updates from SDTechWalk. And in this video, we are going to discuss about for loop in Python. Let's move on to the video now. The for loop can be used to execute a group of statements repeatedly depending upon the number of elements in the sequence. The for loop can work with sequence like string, list, tuple, range, etc. Okay, now let's move on to the Python editor and we'll work with some examples so that we can able to understand the for loop better. So first I'll take the sequence string data type s equal to SDTechWalk, and now I want to print each character from this using for loop. For I in S, print I. So let me tell you what I have done now. Here for and in both are keywords, and I is the variable, and not only I, we can use any variable for this, and S is my string, that is the sequence object we have now. And let me run and see now how the value is being printed. Yes, you can see here. So what happened here is, for every value from S, I will take every time one value and that value will be printed. So I in SDTechWalk, it will take first time S and it will print I. And next time it will move on to D, it will print that. And next time it will move on to T, it will print. Then E and then C and then H. Like that it will print one by one. So till what it will print? Till all the characters whatever we have in S gets finished, it will print. So this is how the sequence can be printed. Now let me use a list, whether it is possible to use a list. Yes, we can use, that is also sequence data type. So we can take here list, or in the for loop itself we can go for the list. For I in list, how do we give list? It's within square bracket. So I can give 10 here, 20 here, and some floating point value also we can give, and some string also we can give. I give here SDTechWalk, a string, and a colon is must. It's part of the syntax for loop. And now I want to print I. So what is this I will print now? I, every time it will take a value from the list. First time it will take 10, it will print that. And next time I value will be 20 and it will be printed. And then next time 30.4, that will be printed, and then SDTechWalk. Let me run and show you. Yes, the expected output we have got. So like this we can work with the for loop with any sequence data type. Now another one sequence data type we'll use here, range data type. Already we have discussed about this in detail in the previous videos. If you have missed that, you can go back and watch out that. And start with 1. First 10 numbers I want to print. For example, first 10 numbers I want to print here. Starting value, stop, and then we can give the step size. If we don't give step size, it will take it as 1. So now what is the expected output here is, it starts from 1 till 10 it has to print, because stop value is 11. So once it sees 11, it will stop. So from starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 till that it will print. Yes. So this is my expected output. You can print in the reverse order. You can print with the step size 2 or 3, 5, whatever it is. So this is about the range sequence data type, how I can print using a for loop. Now the next thing, we are allowed to use else condition with the for loops in Python. So let me give an example for that. How can I use the else statement? So the same value only will take. We want to print from 1 to 11. And after printing this else, print I'm from else. Let me execute and show you what happens here. Yes, you can see here after the for loop is completed, starting from 1 to 10, it prints the else also. Else it will print I'm from else. So now I want to give a break statement here. Break will break the loop. Okay, break statement will break the loop. So what is the program now? What we are expecting is it has to start the range. Once it prints only one value, it will break the loop. After that, we'll see whether the else is getting printed or not. Oh, else is not printed here. Why? Because the break statement is there, else is not printed. If we don't have break statement, it will continue the loop fully and it will come out of the loop, then it will go for else and it will print else. So this is the way. So it depends on the program what we use and where we need to use these type of for else we can use it. So this is allowed in Python. So this is about my else statement in for loop. And now we move on to nested loops. Nested for loop. How can we use nested for loop? We'll see an example, nested for loop. What is the meaning of nested for loop? It's possible to write one loop inside another loop. So that is called the nested loop. So for loop also inside one for loop, we write another for loop, that is called nested for loop. So we need now, how do I explain you with an example? I'll explain you. See here, now this pattern we want to print. So the pattern, how is the pattern? I want to print stars. In the first row, only one column is there. Only once I want to print. In the second row, we have two columns to be printed with star. And the third, three columns to be printed. Printed star, not three. And fourth and fifth, like that. So how do I do this? So I can take an outer loop. What I need is 5 times. And inner loop depending on the row value. So for, let me try, for I in range, anyway we want only till 5, so 6 I need to give here. So let me give 1 comma 6. So what is the meaning? It's 5 times whatever is there, it has to repeat starting from 1. It will stop when it sees 6. So only from 1 to 5 it will execute. Yes, that's fine. Now for inner loop I need to give for j in range. So first time it has to print 1. Not only first time, every time it has to start from 1. And if I value is 1, it has to print once. If I value is 2, it has to print twice. So if I give I, what happens? I value 1 means 1 it will not take. I value 2 means it will stop when it sees 2. But I want to include I value also. So I increment by 1. So if the I value is 2, here the stop value will be 3. That means only till 2 it will print. So now what I need to print? Print star. So somehow I made the loop values. Let me print and see what happens now. Oh, I got an error here because it's a character, so we need to include in double quote or single quote. Now let me run and see. Yes, but I don't want like this. I want some pattern to be followed. So how do I make that? I have a variable or a parameter for print end with a space. By default, it will end with a new line. So only we are getting in the next line. But I don't want to end in a new line. I want that end to be a space. So now let me run and see what happens. Yes, something had happened. Means it has ended with space, but the problem is it is not moving to the next line once the inner loop is over. Once the inner loop is over, it's not going to the next line. So once the inner loop is over, I need to go for the next line. It is not next, it's not a new line, it's the cursor has to be in the next line. So that is my print function. So let me execute and see now. So almost we got, but we need one more space here, one more space after the start. So I will give here a space. Now we'll execute and see. Yes, I got the output. Yeah, I'm so happy seeing these patterns. I love to see these patterns. Nice it is. So like this, using loops, I mean nested loop, we can able to print different types of patterns. Hope you have understood how the for loop has to be used. So this is the basic syntax of for loop, and it depends on the program and the situation where we use the logic what we think. According to that, we need to use this for loops efficiently. Either it may be a for loop, simple for loop taking from a sequence, or it may be a for loop with else suit, or it may be a nested for loop. However it is, depends on the program, we need to use it efficiently. Okay, thank you. And we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and if you have liked the video, please give me a like and do subscribe my channel, share with your friends, and if any doubts are there, you can comment it. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.